So after the fight with Lennox, the first fight, you stopped training with Emanuel Steward. What happened with that situation?
Well, then that's when the politics of boxing and all that came, where the craziness happened in my career. I remember after the fight, the next morning I went up to Don King's suite, and Emanuel Steward's suite was right next to Don King, and I remember Don King saying some very vulgar, harsh things concerning Emanuel Steward. Now looking at it in hindsight, I understand that he was saying it because he knew that Manny Steward was going to get in my ear and tell me about what was really going on as far as Don King's plan. Don King's plan at that point was really to just for me to win the heavyweight title so he could get a hold of Mike Tyson when Tyson get out of jail. And I did not know that at the time, but that was the ultimate plan. The ultimate plan Don King had wasn't for me, was for me to get the title so he could present that to Mike Tyson as far as being able to manage Mike Tyson, promote Mike Tyson and have one of the belts to present and offer him. And that's exactly what he done. And I was more or less set up after the Larry Holmes fight for the Bruno fight, because Bruno was the guy that Don King wanted Mike Tyson to fight, because he kind of knew that Mike Tyson can kind of really beat Bruno up, because he beat him up the first time. So he was kind of, there was a lot of things that was put into play as far as my preparation for the Bruno fight. My family came down to London, me not knowing that my family was actually part of the garbage. It was a lot of crazy stuff going on. Matter of fact, I can recall one day that my kids and wife was in London. I was training for Frank Bruno, and they started doing some crazy stuff. And I remember kicking them out the hotel. I said, hey, y'all have to go back to the hotel. And I remember laying in my bed thinking about, man, was it wise for me to bring my family? The distraction that was starting to take place. And even with Greg Page and Georgie Benton, it was certain things that I saw then. As I reflect now back on them, my preparation for Bruno was all wrong. They had me where I was boxing, trying to box the first several rounds and then come on strong when I should have just fought my killer instinct fight like I did with Lennox Lewis, come out swinging and banging. And not knowing that when I came out in that first round with Bruno, with me trying to box him, trying to outbox him instead of taking it to him like I did Lennox Lewis, he ended up hitting me dead in the eye. And that was my first big old swelled up black eye. And it swole my eye. And I never experienced a swollen eye like that really in my career. And it kind of really threw the whole fight game off. But so it was a lot of politics and things that I didn't know, and had the wrong type of crowd and people around me back then that really threw it off for me. But, it is what it is. That's part of boxing too.